A lot of news. I'm going to share it with you as quick as I can, rapid fire style. We have a 3.3 strong flare event. Read all about it, NOAA, spaceweather.gov, as you can see here. And there's already been high frequency radio blackouts observed. Now, this was 3:57 UTC time, October 24th, sunspot region 3869. So we'll keep you updated on that. And also, this is very interesting. We have two volcanoes in Alaska with a warning. We've got the Great Sitkin volcano, a watch orange level, and then we've got Spur advisory yellow. I first found this article from discovermagazine.com. One of Alaska's most famous volcanoes may be waking up. It's been over 32 years since Mount Spur last erupted, but the Alaskan volcano near Anchorage is showing signs of reawakening. How cool is that? Only 75 miles from Anchorage. So buckle up, Buttercup. Let's go. Are you concerned about the economy? Rightfully so. I know a lot of people that are. Be prepared, not scared. There's one asset that stands the test of time. That's gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against inflation, volatility, and economic instability. With the Gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals to help protect your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up your gold IRA has never been easier with Noble Gold Investments and LeapProjectGold.com. Its streamlined process and expert guidance makes it smooth and simple. This election year, don't let election volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. When you convert your 401 or IRA through Noble Gold Investments, if you qualify, you will be gifted this beautiful solid silver 10-ounce American flag bar behind me. Or if you prefer, you can get these limited edition Trump rounds. 10 of these, total of 10 ounces. Your choice, give them a call, 1-877-646-5347. And let's get back to the podcast right now. So Great Sitkin actually is orange level, which means watch. Lava is actually erupting slowly at Great Sitkin volcano. Ongoing activity is adding to a thick lava flow that fills most of the summit crater with minor advancement of the northern part of the eastern lobe. Small earthquakes are also associated with the ongoing lava eruption, and nothing unusual was observed in cloudy satellite and web camera imagery. Now, but if we jump over to Mount Spur, yellow level advisory, no major changes detected in the past day at Mount Spur. Seismicity remains elevated with several small earthquakes detected. No unusual activity was observed in satellite or web camera data over the past day. AVO continues to closely monitor activity at Mount Spur for signals that would indicate the volcano is moving closer to an eruption. Based on previous eruptions, changes from current activity in the earthquakes, ground deformation, summit lake, and fumaroles would be expected. If magma began to move closer to the surface, therefore it is likely, very likely, that if an eruption were to occur, it would be preceded by additional signals that would allow advance warning. Local seismic, infrasound, web cameras, GNSS stations are used to monitor Mount Spur along the regional infrasound lighting networks and satellite data. Now, if you read from Discover Magazine, Mount Spur is about 75 miles from Anchorage, which is more than half the population of the northernmost state. On top of that, a surprisingly large amount of air cargo traffic passes through its international airport, not to mention the military aircraft from Ellsworth Air Force Base. So anytime a volcano close to such a vital hub begins to get restless, it's time to pay attention. Earlier this month, Alaska Volcano Observatory raised the alert status at Spur to yellow, for the first time in 2 decades. The last time was in 2004, which is when, remember back in 2003, 2004, solar maximum. If I remember right, there were auroras, like the aurora borealis was actually moving further south. Not quite as extreme as it has been the past few months. Maybe it was, but there was also like 20 something years ago, right around that same time. So it's interesting that I don't know if there's an uptick in volcanoes during the time of solar maximums, but it'd be interesting to look into that. So the AVO, jointly run by the University of Alaska and the U.S. Geological Survey, keeps an eye on volcanoes. And in fact, the 1992-94 eruptions at Spur were one of the first major eruptions managed by AVO after its founding in 1988. As of the report since April, there's been a gradual increase in earthquakes recorded at the volcano. This isn't normally enough to raise the alert status. However, GNSS, similar to GPS stations near Spur, have also recorded deformation that has been modeled as potential influx of magma and other fluids a few kilometers beneath the volcano. Combine that with satellite images, now show a small crater lake and steaming at the volcano's summit, and you have a recipe for a hot potato. Oh man. So now this is tricky part, according to the article, telling people about the risk. Why is that? Although all these signs flash something new's happening, communicating that can be very challenging. In the USGS summary for the 92 through 94 activity at Spur, John Eichelberger and others comment, increasing levels of concern convey both increasing likelihood of eruption and increasing potential of actual size of eruption. No simple one-dimensional scale can adequately describe an impending or ongoing event, yet simplicity of communication is essential during an emergency. So the color-coded system is difficult, they say. And then there's two options, eruption or no eruption. At this point, it's not clear which is more likely, beyond the fact that intrusions of magma without an eruption are relatively common at volcanoes. However, many of the signs that Spur is exhibiting are similar to what it did prior to 92, the reawakening. So there you go. All right. Wow. Hello. So you can see that's where the orange level is, and then by Anchorage, you've got the yellow. So 2 volcanoes, and then we've got activity, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams. Articles are coming out about Mount Rainier, keeping scientists up at night. The weather's definitely extreme, but you know what? Is it time to bring in the tomato plants yet? I don't know. I think you're okay, but don't take my word for it. Newsweek, China enlarging nuclear forces with eye on America, U.S. intel. Just give you a quick excerpt. A new U.S. government report this week shared updates estimated about China's nuclear buildup, linking it directly to Beijing competing with Washington. The report, the second of its kind since 2018, was released on Tuesday by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which operates under the Department of Defense that also covers the nuclear programs of U.S. adversaries Russia, North Korea, and Iran. So China, under President Xi Jinping, has dramatically built out its nuclear stockpile and conventional forces. In August, Xi reiterated his intention to build the People's Liberation Army into a world-class military, calling it a strategic task in forming a modern socialist China. China is undergoing the most rapid expansion and ambitious modernization of its nuclear forces in history, almost certainly driven by an aim for enduring strategic competition with the U.S. and a goal to actualize intensified strategic concepts that have existed for decades but are now being realized, the report says. The DIA estimates that China has more than doubled its operational nuclear warheads since 2018, and they're believed to be more than 500. Wow. This forecast is aligned with estimates from the Pentagon's 2023 report on Chinese military power. Tomato plants? Maybe. Now, this is unsettling. You know, it's supposed to be green, right? These lithium batteries are supposed to get people off of gasoline and different liquid fuels that are just so bad for the environment in so many ways. And actually, I'll tell you this, if you ever go to some of the fracking fields, like in New Mexico and Texas, it's really, really bad. But lithium and lithium mining, how much better is it? Well, time's going to tell. But let me share with you a quick excerpt from the article SF Gate, Lithium Mining Projects Near California's Largest Lake Accused of Harming Wetlands. A controversial lithium extraction project in Imperial County has polluted wetlands connected to the Salton Sea, California's largest and most troubled saline lake, the United States Environmental Protection Agency has announced. Now, October 17th news release says the agency reached a settlement with Hell's Kitchen Geothermal LLC, also known as HKG, over its dredging and ditching work that harmed fragile wetlands connected to the ill-fated body of water. The construction work, starting in November 2021, was part of its lithium mining efforts, which are projected to bring billions of dollars to the impoverished Imperial County community and generate thousands of jobs. But it appears that it's already having adverse impacts on the area's ecological fragile wetlands. When EPA and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers employees inspected HKG's project September 2022, they discovered that material from the site was discharged in about 27.2 acres of wetlands. A consent order obtained by SF Gate reads, this diverted water from them, leaving them too shallow to maintain their ecological functions. Now, HKG is required to restore the impacted wetlands to their original condition, and the cost of doing so will be paid by HKG. EPA spokesperson Michael Brogan told SF Gate. 2023, Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory revealed that the region was sitting on top of an estimated 3,400 kilotons of lithium, enough to supply 375 million batteries for electric vehicles, though the coveted mineral is typically found in Australia, China, and Chile. This discovery, showing the Salton Sea as one of the world's largest geothermal and critical mineral resource areas, according to Controlled Thermal Resources, the company that owns HKG. Extracting lithium-rich brine from deep beneath the valley floor is a complex process, consuming exuberant amounts of water, a vital resource that's already at risk of vanishing. EPA is committed to our responsibility to enforce environmental law and to play our role in protecting the Salton Sea, associated wetlands, and all waters of the U.S., said EPA Pacific Southwest Regional Administrator Martha Guzman in the October release. The transition to a clean energy future is underway, and we want to see these types of projects move forward in compliance with federal law. HKG Press representatives did not immediately respond to SF Gate's request. Now, SF Gate, nice reporting, nice work. I will leave a link in the video description box. A little bit unsettling, but not nearly as unsettling, or should I say exciting, as this. Scientists revived a pig's brain nearly an entire hour after it died. Well, that's kind of exciting, right? Oh, sure. Well, so check this out. According to this article, you can read it at sciencealert.com, scientists have revived activity in the brains of pigs up to nearly an hour after circulation has ceased. In some cases, functionality was sustained for hours through a surprising discovery by researchers in China. This achievement represents a huge step forward in working out how to restore brain function after a patient has suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It suggests that doctors may be able to widen the brief window for successful resuscitation of patients following cardiac arrest. What's the trick? I mean, Yeah, what's the trick? Oh, it's like a party trick? So, incorporating the patient's unharmed liver, the organ the body uses to purify its blood, into the life support system used to revive the brain after the time had elapsed. Sudden cardiac arrest causes a lot of problems in the body due to the rapid cessation of blood flow. Really? You don't say. The subsequent drop in circulation of parts of the body is called ischemia. And when it occurs in the brain, it can cause serious, irreparable damage within minutes. This is why the resurrection window for cardiac arrest is so short. So, it's known that multi organ ischemia plays a role in the brain's ability to recover after a cardiac arrest, but the individual organs have not been fully investigated. This is unlikely to be a scenario used to treat humans. However, it helps scientists understand the windows in which resuscitation could be a possibility. So then there's the basic life support, which is involved, and an artificial heart and lungs, which help pump fluid through the brain. One group, a pig's liver, was integrated into the system, known as liver assisted brain normothermic machine perfusion. First, brains were connected to life support systems, and then 10 minutes later, commencement of the life support procedure. I'm sorry. First, brains were connected to the life support systems 10 minutes after commencement of the life support procedure. For the system without a liver, electrical activity in the brain emerged within half an hour before declining over time. Then the team did experiments with different delays. They connected brains to the liver assisted systems at intervals of 30 minutes, and then 50 minutes, and then an hour, and then 4 hours. And then the longest interval that showed the most promise was 50 minutes after being deprived of blood. The brain restarted electrical activity and was maintained in that state for another 6 hours. And then the experiment was finally shut off. Remarkably, the brains that had been starved of oxygen for 60 minutes, activity only returned for 3 hours before fading, suggesting a critical interval in which resuscitation can be successful. Successful when you add the addition of a liver that functions. Then these results, according to the researchers, suggest the liver plays an important role in the development of brain injury following cardiac arrest. Very interesting. The findings also suggest new avenues for research into brain injuries and can hopefully improve survival rates as well as recovery outcomes for human patients in the future. And I wonder what the military is going to do with this kind of stuff. They're like, well, let's see how long. No, I'm not, never mind. Never mind. They would never do that. They love you so much. No, 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 no. Okay. Well, it's an interesting article, but this is also an interesting article. Scientists build the smallest quantum computer in the world, which works at room temperature. You can fit it on your desk using so this smallest machine of its kind uses a single photon as a qubit, which performs calculations without needing the equipment to cool it down to near absolute zero. Wow. It's the size of a desktop PC. It can work at room temperature, powered by just one photon or a light particle embedded in a ring-shaped optical fiber. Scientists wrote in a study published 3rd of September in the journal Physical Review Applied. The machine is a proof of concept. It can complete mathematical operations such as prime number factorization, like 15 equaling 5 times 3. Whoa. Photons and mathematics. Many quantum computers and processors, including IBM's 1,000-qubit Condor chip, are built using superconducting qubits. But to tap into the laws of quantum mechanics and calculate using quantum superposition, which allows the qubit to exist in multiple states simultaneously, they need to be cooled to near absolute zero, requiring complex equipment, which usually It's about the size of a room at least. Photons have long been proposed as an alternative to superconducting qubits in a field known as optical quantum computing. In February, scientists suggested that building qubits from a single laser pulse, hello, could let them make a stable quantum computer at room temperature. And in the new study, scientists built a machine that can process calculations at room temperature because it doesn't need to be chilled. But you need to be chilled. Chill out, dude. It's the size of a typical desktop. Maybe not you, but you know people that need to chill, right? The size of a basic desktop personal computer. The quantum computer stores information in 32 time bins or dimensions. Wait, the quantum computer stores information in 32 time bins or dimensions? There's 32 dimensions? What? Within the wave packet of a single photon, study lead author Chia Sung, professor of quantum optics at the Tsinghua University in Taiwan, said in a translated statement, "This is a world record for the number of computing dimensions that can be accessed by a single qubit," he added. I want to know how you get into 32 dimensions with a single photon. What does that even mean? Unlike I know what it means. But I'm just checking to see if you know what it means. Unlike superconducting qubits, photons can maintain a stable quantum state at room temperature. A quantum machine using photons also consumes less energy, and it's cheaper to run. More efficient than systems which use trapped ion qubits. Charged particles suspended in free space by electromagnetic waves? Hello. Everybody knows that. And it also requires complex lasers to precisely tune the quantum state. So it's all about photons, live science. That's what I'm talking about. Get some. Now, did you hear about here, I'll do a screen share on this one. The weather is pretty wild out here, isn't it? It is. It's definitely wild out here, but it's also wild in China. Listen to this. scmp.com. Science. What caused an unexpected record-breaking tidal event on China's east coast? Monday's unforeseen extreme weather event left much of the east coast underwater as experts looked for answers. Late Monday evening along the coast of northeastern China's Bohai Sea, the water began to rise as it normally does when tide comes in. But the water kept rising. Under the cover of darkness, the tidal surge swept across several coastal regions in the provinces of Liaoning and Hebei, as well as the city of Tianjin, which is situated just over 100 kilometers or about 62 miles southeast of the capital, Beijing. The waters quickly flooded inland, prompting emergency responses and shattering official records. Read all about it. There you go. So a lot of news, right? It's like, wow, the earth is pissed. Mother Nature's like, hey, I've had enough. And then there's two different theories about what's going on with the weather right now in the media anyway. There's many theories, but there's two big theories in the media right now about what it is. It's interesting how different people have different ideas, but I want to hear your comments in the comments section. And I think there's a lot of variables, and I don't necessarily think any one person has all the answers. So keep looking and keep being the change the world needs to see. And check us out on leakproject.com as well as youtube.com. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got the bell for all notifications and check back daily for new content. Hit that thumbs up, please. Leave a comment and also share the videos out if you would, please. That helps the algorithms and that helps me. That helps Leak Project. And also, great results, great responses from people that have been that I've been talking to in the podcast community. People that are getting into doing podcasts and like building up their media empire and actually turning their passion into money and profit and doing what they enjoy doing. Well, send me an email, leapproject@gmail.com. I can help you with that. And also you can send me a text. So I'm going to leave the text. You'll thank me later. 970-616-5677. I have a 2-day class coming up. It's like a really cool master class. And be the change you want to see, everybody.